Hey, everybody, it says we're live. So I see that some of you had tuned in before. Thank you so much. It's always so exciting to tune in and see everybody talking already. So let's see. We've got a couple minutes, I think, before the official start time. But let's get going then. Let's see. Anybody? Hello. I always like to make sure that everybody could hear me. So that's great. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited about this Endure cigar. As you've read about it, I'm sure it's a story of resilience, hence the name Endure, and just hard work and dedication. And you know what I guess my father has been through, and the person who basically saved the Cameroon wrapper, which is now referred to as a miracle Cameroon. So there's some beautiful stories involved, which make the cigar very, very special. And it's also the first in the what's called the premier selection of the Pérez Carrillo line. So we're very excited about this. Now, we're not going to start with the winners just yet, because we want to give my dad a little chance.
I'm excited about this.
Show them part of this.
Look at this. It's incredible.
That's just the packaging.
That's just the packaging, okay? Now I want to show you the
Someone's asking if it's a limited release or regular production. It is limited production, okay? So it will be a continuous line, but it will just be, I guess, produced because of the specialness and rarity of the wrapper and not having that much of it. It'll be produced throughout the year, but you're not going to see just a ton of them out in the market. So it's not really a limited edition. It's a limited production.
Look at this.
So check out the cutter. A lot of people got it.
Beautiful. I mean, it's amazing. I need one of these.
Yeah.
Where can I get one?
That one. You could keep that
what
one.
What I like about this cutter, lately I've been starting to do this type of V cut. And I mean, this is great because it has a V cut and it has the regular, cut here.
But wait, why are you doing the V cut?
Well, I just like to experiment, like sometimes I don't know, it just, like for instance, with this particular cigar, you look at the head, you look at the beautiful head, and then, you just don't want to cut it off right away. So you do a little V cut. Look how beautiful. And it also keeps the tres vuelta, around the cigar.
The triple cap?
The triple cap, yes. So I'm going to light this cigar because...
But also you did a video once where some people were saying you cut too much of the head off. So I guess the V-cut takes care of that.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll cut the head. I'll cut, because I like to chew on the cigar. I like to, have that taste of the tobacco. Not only the smoke itself, but also the tobacco, and that's why I keep chewing it and cutting it off.
Yeah.
Now it's funny because way back, I don't think many of you were born yet. The way that people used to do this, they would get like a toothpick, and they would open 2-3 holes, and that's how when I started 55 years ago, whenever, that's how people used to do it. And then the cuts, the different cutters came around, and needless to say, that was a whole new disruption of the cutting a cigar.
So
anyway,
so tell us, how did this come about? Wait, first, when was the first time you ever worked with a Cameroon wrapper?
Okay, back in the early 60s, back in '68. The only tobaccos, that you could get here in Miami were basically Dominican, Matafina, maybe some tobaccos, from Puerto Rico or Costa Rica. And the wrappers, the main wrapper was the Cameroon wrapper.
That's what I remember when I was a kid. You would talk about that wrapper.
Which was supplied by Jeremiah's and Joshua's and his sister's father. We're talking back, like I said, back in 1968. But that was like the wrapper that, most of the factories here in Miami used. So it was, needless to say, it was very popular wrapper because that was kind of the only thing that was available. There was also later on, some Connecticut shades started coming in, some broadleaf. But I think, in our case, the wrapper that really put our name on the market was, needless to say, the Sumatra. But I've always had a very special love for this wrapper, and I never used it before for the simple reason that it's not that easy to get. It's a tobacco that, like Lise was saying, basically the Mirafeld family saved, because it's, I mean, to grow this tobacco, it really takes a lot of work, and love. You have to love what you're doing, because otherwise, nobody would invest the kind of money that they invest in growing these tobaccos.
Yeah.
So,
did your dad use that tobacco?
yes, we used that back in '68 when we started. We used to use that. We also used at one time. This was later on after he passed away. There was more tobaccos available. There was the Havana, Connecticut, the broadleaf, the Connecticut shades, tobaccos from Honduras and Nicaragua wrappers were starting to come in. So there was a lot more to choose from, after 1988, I guess you could say. But it's
so it holds like a special place in your heart, I guess.
It does, because this is what I remember smoking. The first El Credito that we made back in '68 was using this tobacco. So when I got a chance to basically say, come up do this project with this particular tobacco, it was it was very special. It is very special for me.
Well, so I'm reading some of the comments. Thank you, all of you again for joining us. Someone's smoking a 15-year anniversary. So a lot of people are excited about the Endure, and obviously a lot of people are wishing us a Happy New Year. So Happy New Year again to all of you. I think it's time to get started, because I'm sure that a lot of the people that are joining, I want to start listening a little bit to who's going to be winning this grand prize.
What are we giving away?
Okay, so we're giving away to 9 runner-ups, 2 Endure Toro cigars, okay? And then the grand prize winner is going to get a whole box.
Okay.
They're going to get this beautiful ashtray. And they're going to get the cutter that you love. We won't take that one from you, though. We have a few others. Yeah. So we're super excited about that. And the beauty of this is that they're going to try it before it's even in stores, because this is shipping at the end of the month.
Correct.
So yes. whoever wins this, and all of the runner-ups are going to get to try this cigar, which is something we're super excited when we're able to do this, because sometimes we don't really have that much time to plan ahead and do these type of lives. But this year, there's going to be a really, really nice surprise. He's agreed to do this more often, and we're creating a cigar especially for these type of events and for our digital events and for social media in general, which you'll only be able to get through participating in these events. So we're super excited about that. A lot of good things happening this year. Yeah. He's agreed to do quite a few events. I'm going to do some. My brother, Mike from the factory, which if you want to learn more about him, go to our YouTube videos. So there's going to be a lot of exciting things. Stay tuned for some of the Endure events. Okay, so I'm talking too much. So let's start shooting out names. So the first runner-up is Theo Braswell. Okay, so Theo Braswell from Orange Park, Florida. So Theo, you're going to be receiving 2 of these lovely Endure cigars, and we will be notifying you via email. Okay, so sometimes the winners. So that's our first winner. So someone is asking if we could tell them a little bit more about the Premier Collection. And someone's asking if the ashtray and cutter are limited edition. No, we're going to keep ordering the ashtray and the cutter. I mean, it's going to be limited because we bought a certain amount for this year. And obviously, we keep buying it throughout the year. So yeah, there might be times when the ashtrays are not available, but they're not per se limited. So let's see here. The Premier Collection. The Premier Collection, I think, is rooted in this very, special, rare tobacco, right? So it's something where our best rollers are making it. The wrapper is ultra difficult to get.
And expensive.
And expensive. Yeah, it's expensive, although you'll be surprised the cigar itself won't be expensive. It's within, I think, the range of what we consider very reasonably priced, like most of our cigars. I mean, people were saying the 50-year, they couldn't believe that a cigar that incredible, could be sold for something so reasonable. So we always try to think of you guys, when we price these cigars. So, okay, so the next winner of the 2 cigars is Chad Zimmerman from Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, so Chad Zimmerman from Phoenix, Arizona is getting 2 of these Endure cigars. Wow, there's people in Europe, in Copenhagen.
Wow.
It's really,
At this hour?
it's not that late. Well, it's past midnight. So thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
That's great.
Let's see. Please come to Orlando for an event. I do think that there is an event that is being planned for Orlando. Like I said, it's quite a few of us, so we're going to be trying to get out more.
Yes.
I'm sure the Endure will be great. I still can't get enough of the S in Sumatra. Well, Sumatra is one of your favorites.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Sumatras out there. A lot of the Sumatras out in the market, but you love, and are very keen towards that.
Well,
that wrapper,
right. We use the original Sumatra seed that was, grown by the Oliva family from Tampa. Since the early '60s, and it is one of my favorite wrappers. But this one, just to let you in on some knowledge here, the Sumatra seed that we use, that's grown in Ecuador, comes from Java, from Sumatra, and the Cameroon is basically the same seed. Now, what's the difference? The difference is where it's grown. The soil, the microclimate. Like this tobacco is grown in the jungles. It's incredible. I mean, if you go to Mirafeld's website, you'll see and you'll be like, you won't believe it's incredible what they do, how they grow this tobacco. And they're like small plots in different parts of, different families grow small plots in their backyard, I guess you could say. So, figure, the work that it has to go through to, collect all this tobacco, put it in barns, cure it, and all that type of stuff. Whereby the Sumatra and Ecuador, that's grown in, bigger farms. They may be 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200 acre farms. So, I mean, there is a difference. And you'll see that the taste, needless to say, although it's the same seed, the fact that it's grown in different areas and the process are different, they're definitely going to be smoked a lot different than, one from the other. So it's very interesting. And again, I would recommend that you go into the, into Mirafeld's. I think he has a website where they tell the story of that.
But yeah, and we'll also be telling some of it as well, as we get more involved in the release of the cigar. So Puerto Rico, hello. Canada, hello. Philadelphia, hello. There's a good coverage today. That's great. Oh, someone just got a box of the Encore Noir and Unica. Yeah, those are hard to get. Those were geared more towards like the European market, but we did do some events here with them. So there is some availability. I would suggest maybe do like a website search and see if there's any left. But I doubt it. But like I said, we'll probably do some more of those throughout the year as well.
Yeah, those were like 1,500 boxes, I think.
Yeah, there weren't that many. Okay, so our next winner is local, Mike DeRusimo from Miami, Florida. Again, that's Mike DeRusimo. So congratulations, Mike. You'll be getting 2 of the Endure cigars. And then another winner is Orion Casper from Terrell, Texas. So congratulations to both of those winners. Let's see, what else is interesting about the Endure? Is it a delicate wrapper to work with?
It is very delicate.
I mentioned, we have to have the best rollers rolling it. So tell me a little bit about that.
It's a very small wrapper. That's why, you'll probably this will probably be the biggest.
Look at that ash. That's looking really nice.
52 by 6. And it's not too wide of a wrapper. It's, more of a not necessarily thinner, it does have some body like this one that we use. We use the upper primates. And one interesting thing about this cigar that I wanted to do was give it a different spin, I guess you could say. So where you're finding this cigar, it has a little bit more body. It's more of a medium to medium full. So it's not like a mild Cameroon. It has more body, which is something that I wanted to, distinguish it. Since a lot of our cigars are more on the fuller side, I wanted to make this one to kind of have that profile of a more of a medium, with the retrohale, with some of the spices. So it's interesting. It's interesting. And one thing that I do think that this cigar does do with age, it does definitely get, a lot better. So the cigar is going to age very well.
So what do you suggest if someone buys it, let it sit for a little while? Obviously, someone's going to try one right away, but
Well, of course, yeah.
what do you think? Like, what's the best?
I would say
What's the best aging advice that you have for that cigar?
I say that, whatever cigar, whether it's this one or whatever cigar you buy, it's good to age them, whether it be in the box they come in, whether it be in a bundle, whether it be in your humidor. I think the aging process does help a lot, bring out all the different characteristics of the smoke. So me personally, I like to, when I want a cigar that I'm going to smoke, I always try to, have cigars that have aged, whether it's my brand or other brands or whatever. But needless to say, I try a lot of blends on a daily basis. And sometimes what I do, I try them right off the table. And I'll go through a process where it's about 30 days to 45 days. And then after 30 days, I know if the blend is going to work or not. So it's a process that, we go through to try to get that taste that we're looking for, and the strength and, the complexities, but it takes a while to get there. Now, what happens is, when you receive the cigar, that cigar has gone through a whole different process of, being on a plane to Miami, from Miami being in a truck to the warehouse, from the warehouse being UPS to your retailer. So needless to say, the cigar tobacco is a living organism, and it's going to go through changes. So that's why I always suggest when you get a box of cigar or cigar, or whatever, let it age, and like I said, in your humidor, a box, or whatever you keep it at, and you'll see how it starts to develop. And then at one point, it's just going to come back to that, sweet spot where it just be, perfect in a sense.
Okay, so let's see. A couple more winners. Lashane Winden from Columbus, Ohio, and Gary Asher from Georgia. So congratulations to both of you. You're each getting 2 Endure cigars as the runner-up. And we just have a few more runners-up left, and then the grand prize. So let's see. A lot of comments of La Historia rules. Love the story behind it. Do we do factory tours? Cigars on the Lake is asking. Cigars on the Lake is very active in our account. So hello, Cigars on the Lake. And we are planning to start doing those. We do factory tours sometimes with special groups, et cetera, but this year that's going to be one of the new things that we're working on, is creating factory tours so that consumers can go to our factory versus just retailers or during Pro Cigar, for example. So that's something that's in the works, and we're really excited about that, and hopefully we can get that going. So somebody's asking how many winners so far. Well, we've already announced we have 3 more winners of the 2 cigars, and then the grand prize winners. What would you pair your cigars with? Well, I know he doesn't drink, but you pair it with coffee.
Coffee,
right?
yes.
You like it with
Yes.
coffee.
Yes.
That cigar will go very well with Scotch. I think
Rum,
but it's so like that one is like smooth and just, we have to explore that more, because we really haven't had the opportunity to, like I said, we sent some around, to our retailers and our sales team, but we really haven't sat down and done pairings with it. So that's something that's going to be pretty exciting to see, what that would go well with. But I did have one. I like cappuccinos in the morning. I did have one with a cappuccino, and it was delicious. So let's see. Philly.
This is, this is interesting because it has a kind of a fruity taste to it also, like right in the middle of the tongue. It has like a little bit of fruity taste, which is interesting. It's interesting. I think this is, for me, this is definitely one of the blends that I most have to say struggle with, because you'd be surprised how difficult is to combine the right wrapper with the right binders. For instance, for this one, I had to use like a double binder, which is, something that we do once in a while with some of the blends that we make. But this one in particular, I used two different binders, a Habano and a Criollo 98 binders from Esteli, just so that I could get some, some of that spice, some of that creaminess, but yet, not lose some of the smoothness, because it does have some smoothness to it, but it also has some, fruity taste in the tongue. So it's interesting.
No,
and,
that
and
actually
people may
is
say,
beautiful.
I mean, we must have gone through 39, 34. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was a 30 something.
It was just,
30
it
something
was sick. It was sick.
blends. No,
So,
but that ash is looking so good right now. I love it. So, okay, so let's do a couple more of the winners. Chris Garcia from Midland, Texas. So, Chris Garcia, congratulations. Henry Head from San Antonio, Texas. Again, that's Henry Head from San Antonio, Texas. And then Devin Hall from Annandale, Virginia. Devin Hall from Annandale, Virginia. So far, we've got the 9 runner up announced, and we're heading towards that grand prize winner. So what other questions do we have here? Let's see. Anybody have any specific questions? Let's see. Let's go to the new comments to see the any of the newer questions. Anybody? I've already gone through most of the questions there. Have you ever considered creating a Dominican puro?
yes, I am. I have, and
I want a picture. Let me pass me my phone.
that's one of the things that I want to, do in the future. I think one of the things that perhaps is holding me back is the availability of a Dominican wrapper. Right now the most famous Dominican wrapper, needless to say, is the Chateau Fuentes, which is a incredible wrapper. And I think that in the coming years, you'll probably see some new projects where people are going to be growing wrappers in Dominican. There are some being grown, but right now I think we still got a little bit to go. But I think hopefully in the next 2 or 3 years you'll see more wrappers from Dominican.
How many cigars do you smoke a day?
Well, I smoke depending on where I'm at. So far, I smoked one in the morning. This is going to be my second one, and then before I go to sleep, which is anywhere from 11 to 12 to 1 o'clock, I'll smoke 3 or 4. And mostly, my routine is I'll smoke a competitor cigar. Which in this business, there are no competitors. We're all friends, but still, we compete in the marketplace. And then I'll smoke, maybe one of the blends or 2 of the blends that I'm working on. And then I'll smoke, something of our regular that, every shipment that comes in, I make sure that I take, a box or, 2 or 3 cigars just to see where the blend is at. And because I smoke them in Dominican, but when you smoke them here, it's a different smoke. It's incredible. So I'll go through anywhere, and when I'm here, anywhere from 5, 6, 7, 8 cigars a day. And when I'm in Dominican, it's basically nonstop. So,
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. Let's see here. What is the size you like to smoke the most?
It depends, but I like, I think a Toro size for me is the perfect size. I like a Robusto. And I also love the inch. I love the inch 64, especially in the Maduro. That's one of my favorites, and the Maduro wrapper. And then in the pledge, me personally, I like the 58 ring gauge. And if you go to the La Historia,
You like the bigger ring gauge?
I like
huh?
the bigger ring gauge too, so yeah. But it all depends. Again, it all depends on the blend. You know, some blends will smoke differently in a Robusto, in a Toro, in a 60, just because of the size and the amount of tobaccos that one uses to make those blends.
So another question: are you considering using Brazilian wrapper?
That's a good question. We have a project. We have a project. I'm not going to say if it's going to be this year or next year, but we have a project that I think the plan is to use a Brazilian wrapper and Brazilian fillers also. So that's something that's in the works.
So which cigar are you most proud of and why?
Well, I think the in general, I think I'm proud of every cigar that we make. And the simple reason is for me this is a work of art. This is and I know sometimes it's hard to understand. I mean, after all, we are running a business, but at the same time, I think that it's a passion that if you don't enjoy the cigars that you're making, there's no way that you're gonna convince other people to smoke them. You have to be that advocate where you smoke the cigar and you enjoy the cigar and you're really proud of putting that cigar in the market. Otherwise, it's hard for it to succeed. Now, that doesn't mean that every cigar that I make, everybody's going to enjoy or like. But I think there's a certain niche or following of people that have that appreciate that.
Yeah.
Where you're not just making something for the market because it's hard or it's whatever. You're making something that is unique to to yourself, to your family, to your belief, to your values, to your what your passion.
Yeah. And I know that we have, and over the years you've had to learn to work with different cigar wrappers, for example,
Right.
tobacco.
Yes. Well, this was one of them.
Yeah,
Because, I mean,
yeah,
I didn't work with
I
this.
know, 'cause
I
it's
haven't
been
worked
a
with
long
this
time.
rapper in 50 years or whatever,
Yeah.
or 40 some years. And so it was like a whole new learning process. How do I blend this cigar with what binders, what fillers? It wasn't, it wasn't easy.
And while I think that we're a traditional company, we're constantly innovating. And I think that this year we have a stronger commitment than ever to explore our own limits. With
Yes.
innovation, with,
Yeah.
just going collaborations, looking in other
Yes.
places,
Yeah.
and it's wonderful to see that after so many years of blending that you get so excited, for those new tasks, like, hey, you need to come up with this and you need to do this and you need to do that. And it's just so welcoming. And even though that one did go through 30 something, look at that ash, it's still there.
Yeah.
It went through 30 something, trials. At least we know for sure that whatever
Well,
ends
listen,
up in everyone's
one thing
hands
that
is going to be
one thing that I
phenomenal.
can tell you is that I gave it 110, 120%, like I do with every blend. This one was more challenging again because of the fact that I hadn't worked with this rapper in so many years that I kind of, had to like relearn how to blend with this rapper.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get something that was unique in the sense that it's not your regular Cameroon, it's a different Cameroon. And I think that, one of the reasons I wanted to do that was also because, it's a new line for us, I guess, to a certain degree, the Premier line, and I wanted to make it, something that was special.
Yeah, no, it's holding strong, that ash. That's looking really good. So let's see. A lot of people are saying they love the inch, that everything you do is a work of art, true talent. A lot of people loving the Sumatra. We do get the Lonsdale and Lancero questions. We did do a Lonsdale, a pledge Lonsdale, and every once in a while we will go with those,
Yeah.
less, common sizes, I guess.
Right.
but we have tried in the last couple of years to just stick to the more Robusto, Toro. But like I said, we're innovating all the time. So even with
Well,
the 15-year, we did the Grand
we
Toro,
came out with the,
the
that one,
Solomon.
the Solomon.
Yeah, which is
and the
huge.
15-year that we did now.
What is it called? The Grand Toro, right?
It's especially if you notice the head, it has like a more of a kind of a torpedo bellicoso head, which was something that was different also. But we are going to start kind of getting away with some of the traditional sizes in the future, and we just have to know where to position those different cigars.
Someone's asking, what is your ideal humidity for the cigars and the temperature? We do have videos on YouTube about all of these topics with Ernesto. So obviously explore those if you have the time. But
okay, for me,
he won't say what's his favorite collaboration or his favorite blenders, though. But I appreciate the questions. Somebody already cornered him once.
No, listen.
Remember Cigar Aficionado? They cornered you. He never answered. So
well, I mean, listen. Nowadays, there's so many great cigars out there. I mean, and the reason I don't name them is because they're all friends, and I don't want to forget anybody. That's one of the reasons that I don't like to go into details. But I smoke a lot of people's cigars. I smoke almost all the brands that are out there. At one time or another, if I try them, because I'm interested to see what they're doing, what their thought process is. There's a lot of young people and coming up now that are doing some great cigars. So I like to stay, and see where their heads is at as far as the blends go. So there is a lot of great cigars out there, and I think each blender has their unique style that is only relevant to them. You just have to smoke enough of them cigars to really understand what they're coming from, because you're dealing with tobacco, which is it's a plant, and using half a leaf, a whole leaf, a leaf and a half, it's going to change the whole character and blend to a certain degree. So everybody has their own way of doing things, and I'm constantly trying different blends and smoking different cigars just to see what's out there that I can somehow maybe incorporate some of the tobaccos or some of the ideas or some of the profiles and learn from that. It's like when you're in business or whatever, you read different books by different authors, and I think cigar making is very much like that. Whether you're in marketing or finance or whatever you are, there's books about all these things, and a cigar is like a book. So, and needless to say, you don't smoke one cigar, you smoke a few, so you can really understand the thinking behind that particular blend.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to the humidity question.
Okay, me personally, it depends. Okay, when I first get a cigar that I'm going to put in my humidor, I like to keep it at about 62 to 65 degrees. Now, the reason for that is I want the excess humidity that may be still in that cigar to start dissipating, right? How you say that?
Yeah.
Dissipating. Okay, now once it's been there for about, in the humidor, let's say for about a month to 3 months, then I'll start adding more humidity, and I may go up as high as a 72 relative humidity. Now it is a lot of work. Okay, it's just not something that you put the cigar in the humidor, you forget about it. You have to constantly be, going through that humidor, and you'd be surprised, just doing that extra step of really trying to get that humidity right, how much it's going to improve the smoke. Because needless to say, there has to be a perfect humidity and the tobacco and the cigar itself for you to get those flavors that the blender wanted you to experience.
So let's see, there's a lot of questions, and we do need to get to the grand prize winner. And like I said, we're going to be doing this a lot more often. which will be more of an question answer. Yeah, I noticed that. Someone's asking me if I'm working on a blend, and yes, I am working on a blend. I started working on a blend last year, and we're narrowing it down to three different blends. It's a cigar that is inspired by women. I consulted many women that I respect very much, retailers, consumers, people in our own company, about what they look for in a cigar. And I tried to I guess, translate that into a blend. And we're coming down to, I guess, in the next couple of months, getting those blends in some of these women's hands and getting a reaction. And I will tell you that men are going to love it, because it is a blend that is not, there's no difference. It's just what they tell me they like. And in a lot of times, a lot of them love like the Encore, Pledge, so and I wasn't surprised by that, because having grown up in this industry and knowing women who smoke and enjoy cigars, I know that they're smoking the same things that men smoke. So a lot of times the bigger ring gauges are not, that popular. That was one of the things that they did talk about, liking more of the Toro size. But we've got some interesting wrappers there in the contention. We've got the San Andres, the Habano, and the Ecuador, Connecticut. So it's been aging. My dad's waiting for me to try it. He helped me tweak it.
Like
he helped me tweak it a little bit. I know, but I'm kind of like, it has to be done right,
I saw them there, so I mean, at one point,
I'm going to try them I tried them before, but he told me to let them age, and I just kind of, I don't know, we're putting it together, So I just, before I send it out to these very special women that helped me create this, I kind of want to, sit down with you, and it was just the holidays, and we've been busy, and just sit down and really just.
But listen, that may change when we try them.
I know.
Because I mean, in the past 3 months, I've been working on, different blends that have really been, I just wish we could put out all these cigars at once, but it's impossible.
Let's see here. So, let's see here. Okay, just flavored cigars. No, we don't do flavored cigars. Let's see here. I can't wait to. Is it going to be? Oh, my blend. Yes, it'll be. My blend's going to be a limited edition. My blend's probably going to be 500 boxes. And if it does well, then we do another 500 boxes later. It could become a limited production. I guess it'll depend on you guys. So like I said, women are going to love it. Men are going to love it. So I'm super excited about it.
Nowadays, there's no real distinction. I think cigar smokers all over the world just appreciate a good cigar.
Yeah.
And to put a how do you say, a label, this is for this person or that person, I don't think that's something that nowadays exists anymore.
No, that's why it's more inspired, because when you talk to a lot of these women, when you keep hearing San Andres and you keep hearing, Habano, and you keep hearing Ecuador, Connecticut, it kind of like just, clicks. Like it's about what inspires, that blend versus it's for women, it's inspired by women,
right? But
it's going to be enjoyed by everyone. So,
exactly.
and we promise you guys are going to love it. Okay, so I'm ready for the grand prize. We're going on and on, so I think it's time. Like I said, if we didn't answer any of your questions, we're going to be doing this a lot more. So just save them, and we promise we'll get to all of them.
Incidentally, I just want to make a quick mention. I'm going to be in Virginia at the Gary Pesci's on the 13th and 14th.
Virginia.
Yes, and then on the 26th of April.
Wait, March 13th
and 14th.
And 14th. So you're probably going to do 2 stores.
Right.
In
yeah. And then on April 26th, I'm going to be at in Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Smoke Festival.
Okay.
CT Cigars.
Yeah. Okay, Todd.
So, and then, of course, the big smokes. There's one in Tampa now, March 29th. I think it's going to be. And then, of course, the one in, and then we'll be doing, more.
And you're usually on the panels a lot of the time.
Well, this year, since we got the number 3 cigar of the year, I'm sure, I'll
Yeah.
be on a panel.
Yeah, but you were recently in the Las Vegas one, right?
Right. With my good friend Tim Osner, we're talking about the different tobaccos, and it was very interesting. So we had, I think, like 700 people there.
Let me see. Let's see here. Oh, we're in Virginia. Where he's in it's right
all
there.
Chicago, all Virginia.
Oh, Virginia, but it's right.
He's
it's
got a
close
few.
To, yeah, there's a few
Yeah, it's a
locations,
few
so
of them.
we
He's
couldn't
got
tell
like
you
7
exactly
stores,
which
so-
location. But if you stay tuned, I will be announcing all of this.
Yeah.
So we will be sending out an email. So to where Ernesto is going to be doing the events. Michigan, you went to Michigan recently, weren't you?
I was there about 2
Wild
years
Bill's?
ago.
No, you
Wild
went already,
Bill's?
just went.
Yeah. Well,
You just
last year.
went last year.
Yeah, Wild
Yeah,
Bill's, we
yeah,
were there.
yeah.
I did another one in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I was there, I think that was last year also. But anyway, we hope, and I look forward to this year be doing a little bit more traveling, doing a little bit more events. So, Lisa will keep you attuned of where, it's
The
all
Old
gonna be happening.
Virginia, Andrew keeps asking, the Old Virginia tobacco, if you look it up online, you're going to see their locations. It's just that they have several locations. So
Right.
we're not sure yet which location.
It's going to
But
be.
it's still, last time you did it, it was one that was like an hour from DC.
Yeah.
They're all
He's all over the place.
Yeah. So you'd have to, like I said, sign up for our newsletter or check our social media, and we'll let you know where Ernesto will be. But it's going to be at the Old Virginia store, 2 of them. Okay. So for the grand prize, Jim Ryrosek. So Jim Ryrosek from Eureka, Missouri.
Wow.
Congratulations, Jim. Every winner has been actually on the live, but I don't know. I don't remember seeing a Jim. So I'm not seeing a Jim. Last time the winner was there, and the time before the winner was
You
there.
got a bunch of people there.
Yeah, but there's no Jim. I wish there were a Jim. I wish Jim were here, but
Well, he'll be happy when he
he'll
receives
be happy
it.
when he sees this. So, everyone, thank you so much. You have no idea how much it means to us to have you join us. I know that it's one thing to sign up, and sometimes people can't make it. Obviously, we're all busy, and things go on at different times of the day. But so, the fact that so many of you have joined us here, like I said, thank you so much. It means a lot to us. Please stay tuned to all of our social media channels to stay up to date with what's going on with our company and a lot of new exciting things that we're doing this year, like he said. And that's about it. Let's wrap it up before you guys start leaving, since we announced the grand prize winner already. Anyway, thank you everyone, and congratulations to all the winners. And like I said, we're going to be having a lot of opportunities for you guys to win things, and I see a lot of the same people joining us. So for us, it's really great to see that kind of dedication and that kind of loyalty to our brand.
I think we're gonna have to start giving out more gifts because because I mean, now how many did we give away?
10.
Yeah, I think next time.
Last time we gave away 15 because 15-year
I
anniversary.
think 20 is the number.
Yeah, 20?
Yeah.
Wow.
20 is
Woo.
the number.
Okay, then, guys, you heard it. From now on, there'll be 20 gifts on these sweepstakes. So stay tuned for more. Thank you, and
God bless.
bye. Thank you.